For many of us who have lost our parents, it can be really difficult times. It could be difficult times for weeks, months, years, even decades for some people. But if it lasts that long where you're really mourning the loss of your mom or dad or whatever it might be, there could be things that we can do to alleviate that sadness. And in our grieving program that we teach, that has been completely redone after my mom and dad passed a couple years ago, we teach individuals some of the things that I'm going to share with you right here. Remembering our parents is a very special thing we can do. I know there's some people that did not have good relationships with your parents, and if you're watching this, you may not like what I'm about to say, but I think it's really important, no matter what type of relationship, if you didn't have a good one, maybe get with a professional to forgive them, even though they passed on. We've done that with clients in my practice, and it has been fantastic for them not to, every time someone mentions their mother or father's name, for them not to cringe or get upset or something. Is peace. It's freedom, right? So let's get into how do we remember our parents. By the way, I'm David Essel, 45 years in the world of personal growth, as a counselor, master life coach, best-selling author, etc. So I'll share some things I did when my mom and dad passed, and to remember them after they passed. And I'll start with my dad. I remember when my dad passed, I had told him that I was going to continue to carry on his legacy in so many different ways that I had not mastered that he has. Like becoming more patient. Wasn't a great David Essel trait. It was a great Ed Essel trait. So I focus on that on a daily basis. I wear his Timex watch that was probably $20 that he had for 30 years. It was amazing how long it lasted. And I wear that every day. I decided to not cut my hair. And right now the goal is to not cut it for the rest of my life. And you might go, well, that's kind of weird as a way to remember your father, but it's not, and I'll tell you why. My dad lost all of his hair very, very young. And, he wore a lid and hats all the time and that kind of stuff. And so I thought, what I'm going to do, Dad, is that because you lost your hair so young, I'm just going to keep mine growing. And then every day when I put it in a ponytail, it reminds me of you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the watch reminds me of my dad. The ponytail reminds me of my dad. There's so many different things. My goal of becoming more patient, more measured in life, he was amazing in that. And maybe you look at your dad, if he's passed on, and you start to think of, how do I honor him? How do I carry on his legacy? Those are the type of questions. And then with my mom, it's, oh my gosh, it's just so interesting. My mom and I had a very deep relationship. And so I have, with both of them, I have like their mass cards. This is my mom's mass card. This is just really important stuff for me. I have it on the dashboard of my car in this little slot area by the dashboard of the car. I have them on my desk here at the office. I have them at home. I have them in my wallet. I have them everywhere. And whenever I see that, I look at my mom, I just think of all the grace she brought into my life and into the world. Her love of serving people, her love of serving God. I mean, it's just everything that she was. So we do these things to remember, right? And I also planted a huge garden for my mom. And then I added some plants for my dad too. But that was another thing I did, was I built a really big garden for my mom. So every day going out to meditate in the morning, it's in my mom's garden, right? These are things that we can do to sort of create that bond, to keep that relationship going. There are so many signs that many parents give when they pass over to their children. If you're awake and aware, you might see some regular things happening on a daily basis. You go, oh my God, that must be my mom. One quick story, one of my clients who passed on didn't like coins, change, quarters, nickels, dimes, etc. So she used to always give them to her husband. When her husband passed, she was the only one left in the house, and she would wake up so many mornings in a row. And I was working with her, taking her through our grieving program, and there'd be a coin in the bathroom sink. And she goes, I don't even have coins. And then it dawned on her. And this is going to sound very strange to a lot of people. I told her to get the book Signs, and in there she was totally convinced that was her husband playing little games, leaving coins when she never has a coin in her purse anywhere in the house, and she lives alone. How do you explain that one, right? So anyway, let's really think about this. The grieving process can be very difficult, and one of the things, or a lot of the things I've shared with you today, is to help alleviate that grief when our parents have passed over. If I can help you at all, if you're struggling with it, reach out to me at talkdavid.com. Just go to talkdavid.com, send a little note. We'll chat, okay? Not a problem at all. I'm David Essel. Have a beautiful day.